I'd like to share some reflections inspired by Eckhart Tolle's insights into spiritual awakening, ideas that have helped me recognize a whole new dimension of awareness within myself. As I speak, imagine we're sitting together, sipping tea, and pondering these deeper truths in a peaceful space. My hope is that these words resonate with you and gently invite you to look more closely at your own experience. A common starting point on the spiritual path is realizing just how much mental noise fills our minds day after day. There's a steady stream of commentary in our heads that seems to have a life of its own. You might catch yourself saying, "Oh, that's interesting," when you become aware of a thought. But in reality, the instant of recognition, "I'm having a thought right now," arises from a deeper place, a presence that's separate from the chatter. That presence or awareness is an expression of higher consciousness. It's as if you are beginning to wake up from the dream of compulsive thinking, noticing that there is something beyond the endless flow of mental labels and judgments. To me, that moment of noticing feels like a calm pause, a spacious second where I'm no longer lost in the commentary of my mind. The delusion of "I think." We often say, "I think," but in truth, much of the time thinking just happens. It runs like a loop we didn't consciously start or control. It's odd to consider that many of our thoughts are simply the mind's momentum, spinning stories that shape who we believe we are. When we think we're the ones doing the thinking, we often stay locked in old thought patterns. But the awakening begins when we see that we can step outside this stream. Realizing, "I am not my thoughts," is incredibly liberating. Like opening a window in a stuffy room, letting fresh air pour in. There's a story of a Zen master who says you can't learn Zen until you empty your cup. If your mind is already crammed with opinions and ideas, there's no room for new insights. Traditionally, people often translate emptiness from the Sanskrit word sunyata, but that can sound like a lack, like something is missing. Another way to understand it is spaciousness, an open, boundless field of awareness that can hold everything without being overwhelmed. This spaciousness is your own capacity for presence, often called higher or deeper consciousness. It's present in every one of us, though many never fully connect with it because the constant mental noise drowns it out. Still, it's always there, like the sky behind the clouds. No matter how dense the clouds, the sky remains. For some of us, spiritual awakening might sound grand, but it can also unfold through simple, fleeting moments. For instance, perhaps you've experienced a profound sense of peace while gazing at a breathtaking sunset, noticing the vastness of the ocean, or feeling a powerful thunderstorm roll in. For a few seconds, you were so fully engaged by the natural wonder that your thoughts paused. That pause, when there's no inner commentary about your problems or your future, is actually a glimpse of that spacious awareness. The same can happen when you lock eyes with a baby. The child hasn't yet accumulated words or labels, and there's a pure, bright consciousness shining through. If you truly look, you might momentarily stop thinking and feel that openness in yourself. These little flashes can give us enough of a spark to keep moving toward a deeper sense of peace and connection. However, if our minds are overly cluttered, constantly churning out stories, labeling everything, projecting worries, then it's tougher to notice those moments. We can look at a beautiful view and barely register it, or glance at a sweet baby without fully seeing the purity in those eyes. The mind's chatter veils the living essence of each moment. In my own life, I've noticed how easily I miss the simple joys around me when I'm caught up in racing thoughts. But when I catch myself and take one mindful breath, a gentle clarity emerges. It reminds me how available peace truly is if I just step back from the swirl of thinking. One of the biggest shifts you can experience is realizing that your true identity isn't the string of successes and failures you've faced in the outer world, nor is it the endless storytelling mind. Your deeper identity is that field of spacious awareness, peaceful, luminous, and always present. Yes, in daily life we all win some and lose some, achieving goals or falling short. We switch between highs and lows, and our minds build stories around these ups and downs, deciding who we are in the process. But beneath that, there's a steady, unshakable core of being. Sometimes, we unintentionally touch that core in moments of stillness, listening to the wind through the trees, taking in a starry sky, or even simply closing our eyes in a brief pause. We don't have to wait for an extraordinary view to remind us of this presence. It's always available, though often obscured by busyness. Every so often, try noticing your breath or listening to the silence beneath any noise around you. If you're lucky, a subtle sense of calm and spaciousness may reveal itself. When that happens, it can feel a bit like waking up from a dream and realizing there's so much more depth to life. I know for me, practicing this awareness has made simple tasks, like washing dishes or walking through a park, feel richer. I see colors more vividly, notice the warmth of the sun, and sense a quiet joy that can't be put into words. It's almost as if daily experiences carry a secret shimmer once the heavy layers of thinking take a step back. Spiritual awakening doesn't have to be dramatic. For many people, it's a gradual process, small realizations that add up over time. Even fleeting glimpses of presence, if noticed consistently, can grow into a more constant awareness of our deeper nature. Remember that it's normal to slip back into old mental patterns. Awareness is a gentle teacher. When you notice you've gotten lost, simply return to that quiet space within. Thank you for letting me share this perspective. If these ideas have sparked any insights or even raised more questions, I invite you to be part of the conversation. Please consider subscribing to this channel so you can explore more of this journey with me. And if you feel called, share your own reflections in the comments. Together, as a growing community of mindful people, we can continue discovering the simple yet profound power of staying present, one moment at a time.